Hello, and welcome to our CRM Add-ons channel. CRM Add-ons is a production of Northwood Software Corporation. We create add-ons for the Contact Manager that improve productivity for companies worldwide. Our Sales Automation Manager, or SAM for short, automates sales, marketing, and workflow. Its goal is to automate everything that can be automated for ACT database users. We are constantly improving the product to make it the best automated marketing solution and a great value for you. Visit our website for more information. This video introduces an exciting new feature for Sales Automation Manager, the Truly Visual Debugger. With Sales Automation Manager, you define your automated process using a highly visual graphical editor. The diagrams that you create are called campaigns. Here's a simple campaign to send a follow-up email message 3 days after a new contact enters the system. Campaign first checks ID status to see if it is a new lead, then it waits 3 days, and then sends an email. Prior to the Truly Visual Debugger, users had to really understand this visual language in order to build their automated processes. While that wasn't impossible, it wasn't easy for everyone. The new Truly Visual Debugger makes design, testing, and learning much easier. Instead of having to launch your process and hope it will work, now you can actually run it one step at a time and watch what it's doing. We're not going to show you how to create or edit these campaigns in this video, although it is quite easy with a few clicks of your mouse to create and modify your campaign. But we're going to go now to see how you would debug a campaign that you already created. To enter the debugger, you just click this button located on the Edit Campaigns tab. As you enter, your current edits are automatically saved, and while in debug mode, any edits you make will automatically be saved each time you run the campaign or when you leave debug mode. Now we are in debug mode. This checkbox, Run Only This Campaign, indicates we are going to be running just the campaign that you see. If we uncheck this, you will have the opportunity to run all your campaigns in all your databases. On the left here, we see some boxes that show you what's running: the current database, current campaign, and current contact. Here we also see the watched contact fields list. By clicking this button here on the right, you can add any contact fields in the database as watched fields. The status of the running campaign is shown here in the Run status boxes. The Run button will start execution of the campaign. Here we see that Animate is checked. This is set by default and lets you run campaigns one at a time and simply watch what they are doing. Animation is useful for learning what your campaign is doing overall. The Step button here, which is highlighted when you are running, allows you to step one process step at a time so you can analyze whether your design is doing what you want. Let's click Set Breakpoints. Setting a breakpoint causes the campaign to stop at certain critical points in the automated process execution. Here we see that by default a breakpoint is requested on visiting any contact or if an error or exception occurs. We like those as the default, so we're going to keep them. They allow us to get a quick overview of what is going on. The Remember Path checkbox causes the path through your process to remain highlighted after the run has completed. This allows you to print out what happened so you can study it later on or show it to someone else. We're now done with this overview, so let's run this campaign and see how the debugger works. We'll start by clicking Run, and the campaign is automatically saved to disk before it runs. We have to wait a bit while Sam opens the database, loads contacts, and goes to the first contact in the first campaign. Then the breakpoint at the first contact triggers, and a balloon shows the contact name. While stopped at a breakpoint, we can examine preconditions and actions on the mid-arc labels and move things around, but we can't edit during the run. If we try to edit, we get a warning that the diagram is read-only while it's running. We see we are now at the first contact, Mary Jones, and the Run button has changed to Continue, and the Step and Quit Run buttons are enabled. If we click Step, Execution proceeds one step at a time. Here we have gotten to a transition and moved Mary Jones to stage 1. The next transition. And now we've gotten to a precondition, a compare field, and the color red indicates that this compare is going to block. That would cause Sam to leave this contact and move to the next one in the campaign. So let's go down here and see again that it is going to block. To test your campaign, you want to exercise all your paths to make sure it works. So instead of letting the campaign just block, we are going to force the precondition to pass. This is a real breakthrough in campaign design and testing. So now we can step and move Mary Jones to stage 2. And we step again and again, and now we see that the wait for 3 days is going to block. Prior to the debugger, you could not get through these waits easily. Now you can. So we'll force a pass here and step. Mary Jones has gone through the wait. Now we're at the send email. The default for actions is to perform the action. But we don't actually want to send this email, so we're going to say skip the action and step. Now we've taken Mary Jones through the entire campaign. Now we do another step, and we see that we are now on to our next contact, John Smith, and the contact is starting in stage start. We'll step, and we'll force a pass at the compare that would normally block. And at the wait 3 that would normally block. Now for this contact, there is no email address. So we would expect an error to happen, and it does. We see that an exception results in a pink balloon popping with the stage mark to show that an exception has occurred. Next we see that the run has completed. In this example, there were only 2 contacts in the campaign. One of them would have been sent an email, and the other got an error because the email address was missing. We see that the run status says to look at the run log. So let's go look at the run log. A lot of reporting has been enabled on our Reports and Logs tab, so we see a lot of details. We went to contact Mary Jones and transitioned her through all these stages. And we see that for John Smith, we were unable to send email. The contact was missing an email address and an exception occurred. So that's the end of the overview of our new Truly Visual Debugger, which allows you to run campaigns in animation mode and also step through them. We hope you find this useful to you and that your campaign development will now be much easier. Thank you. Visit our website for more information.